Those two big pipes that are sticking up above the Loring are the flues for the hot stack this side and the cold stack on that side. What do those mean? Well, the hot stack removes hot air from the system and the cold stack removes cold air from the system. The beauty with the Loring is that we never have to touch the most dirty part of roasting coffee, which is cleaning the hot stack. That thing there is nearly mint clean all of the time, and the reason being is that the Loring recombusts the circulation air that passes through the roast chamber. That is such a huge win, and it's something that if you're thinking about a new roaster, really consider how easy it is to clean your apparatus. The Loring is wonderful at being able to clean. It really reduces the amount of time that you're going to be spending doing what I'm going to be doing shortly. However, there is one part of the flue system, the cold stack, that does need periodic cleaning, and it's proportionate to your output. Massive output, you're going to need to clean the thing more regularly. Less output, clean it more infrequently. And that is exactly what we're going to do today, is clean the cold stack. So what does it do? Well, it drags cold air through the cooling tray. And how does that happen? Well, there's a large fan, of which I've recently cleaned, at the rear of the machine. So this here spins and drags cool air through that cooling tray that you've just seen, through a series of pipes inside of the machine, and then it exits way up there. This part of the system does collect dust and other types of bits and pieces from the actual roasting. Those bits of dust that collect through time adhere to the inside of that pipework, because with the dust there's going to be little bits of oil. It's also going to be quite hot, even though it's called the hot stack. The air that is sucked through here will originally be quite warm, because the beans that come out of the roasting chamber can be up to 230 plus degrees Celsius should you be roasting dark. So there will be a certain point on that pipe that will be less furred up than other parts, and one would expect that the lower part of the pipe will have more of this furring than the rest. The Loring maintenance manual suggests that you should clean the cold stack on an annualized basis, and as mentioned before, I would flex this dependent on your throughput. The more kilos you roast, the more often you should be cleaning that flue structure, the less kilos stick to that 12-month cycle. So let's get into what we're actually going to do. I'm very fortunate to have a straight up exit. So this part here should be pretty easy to clean. We have an access point through this pipework here, and this is what I'm actually going to remove today. The manufacturer of this part here is Jacob. I used to use Jacob on our Probat. I like that brand. We've got some quick release segments here that should come off fairly easily, and then I'm going to use a chimney sweep rodding system to get up into that pipe. I'll also show you a little trick to save getting super dirty, because it can be a really dirty process. So let's briefly go through the tools. You're going to need a drill with a fully charged battery, and this here has a 6mm hex key to get into some of the Jacob joints. Because I use the brand Jacob, I also have spare rubber gaskets just in case I need to replace any of the gaskets when I take the segments off. You're going to need a spare grain pro bag, some gloves and masking tape, and then the most important part, your rodding system. And I'm going to be using the chimney Typhoon. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it? Basically, you put a drill on the end of it, and that spins, and it takes you much less time to clean the inside of the flue. So let's get into the actual doing. So these were on really rather tightly. So I've used my 6mm hex key to just loosen up a couple of the clamps, which means that I should be able to decouple this particular section, because that's what adjoins the straight, with some ease now. So let's just do that. So I should unclip there, unclip here. Hopefully everything should come off with ease. And this is what you're looking at. Inside of here we have dust and other bits of detritus that have furred up on the inside of this. I'll show you inside the flue now. So this bit here is from the roaster. You can see the build-up along here. And that there is right the way to the top. You can't really see the build-up, but there is some. So for completeness sake, I'm actually going to take this section off as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak these in water, I think, because that way we'll have a more complete job. What I'm now going to do is show you a little trick that I saw on the internet. Now, I've not actually done this ever before. I used to wear a full like dust suit and mask and whatnot, but today we're going to use a Grain Pro, our rod, and some masking tape to work some magic. So what we're going to do, we're going to gently pop this up the flue to clean, but what we're going to do is we're going to create a little hole in our Grain Pro bag, like so. We're going to feed our Grain Pro bag up towards the flue and take the rod to exit outside of the Grain Pro bag. And then we're going to gather the bag around the top and tape it. So the idea with this, now that is somewhat taped on, is that the bit at the bottom of the Grain Pro should catch all the detritus that falls out. And this, leaving that exit, means that, well, I can attach the other bits of the rod and do the work. So with that in, let's give this a go. Ooh, it seems to be working. Let's get another bit of rod on. Well, I think that has worked exceptionally well. You may not be able to see, but all of the dust has collected in there and very little on the floor and only a little bit on my hands. Ah, damn. Gloves. I forgot to wear gloves. Right, let's take these apart and see how successful I have been. There's not much stuff that's actually up in that flue. I didn't really need to do it, but I'll show you the inside of everything now. So that's what was collected. Doesn't look a lot, but that's what was collected inside of the Grain Pro. And then let's have a look inside the flue now. You probably can't see much change there really, but believe me, that's much better. So whilst I'm at it now, what I'm going to do is just hoover the inside of here. This is pretty clean anyway, and then we will clean the inside of the two bits that have come off because I've been soaking those in very hot water. So 140 degrees Celsius, 140 degrees Fahrenheit, 60 degrees Celsius is hot enough, according to Loring, to dissolve the oils and other things. So you should then be able to wipe the pipes. I'm obviously not going to be wiping these today, but you could do a complete flue regen by doing that. And then we're going to put everything back together. So we're going to sleeve this bit on first. Now all of these taking apart and putting together are going to be proportionate to your system, but I'm hopeful that you'll see that this is all pretty easy to do, especially if you've got the right components, which is why I've always liked the Jacob installation, because of these quick release couplings. Anyway, just gonna fix this up now, secure everything down, and then we'll fire the system up and check that everything works. Okay, the roaster's on. I now need to press the cooler fan, and fingers crossed, the system will work and there'll be no escape. Sounds good. So what's the benefit of doing the work that we've just done, other than to stay on track with the Loring guidance of cleaning and maintaining your equipment? Well, the first and foremost is that your cooling tray and the rate at which your beans will cool will remain as per its design. Maximum efficacy, because your cold stack will be free of deposits. As the deposits build up over time, the aperture, the diameter of gap closes, and that means that it's harder for your cooling tray to work and your beans will cool slower. That is not necessarily what you need as you approach summertime. Certainly here in the UK, the Northern Hemisphere, we are actually going to get into our second heat wave of this summer of 2026. And now my beans will cool faster once they're ejected from the roasting chamber. Anyway, I hope this instructional video has been somewhat useful. If you have any questions or comment about the work that I've done, then please leave a message in the comments section and I will do my best to answer them. And as usual, if you ever pick up a bag of coffee that I have roasted, I hope you enjoy. You have a great day.